Another day, another isekai. Is this what has become of the anime that I so covet? Is this all that remains of that which I love? Must my life become such a tragedy? At the very least, I still have the classics. What are the chances I have to find another like you, a 10 billion%? What? Fear not, my child, for I have arrived.
Weeb alert.
I really like anime. Shocking, I know. But I really do enjoy this medium, and I am glad that I do, as it has given me the opportunity to watch some of the best stories ever written, as well as stories I now love. And one of those stories has recently arrived to our unworthy hands in animated form only last year. A show with refreshing characters. A show with an outstanding premise. A show with heart and intelligence. Oh boy, a lot of intelligence. A show where everything about it has captured my heart. Dr. Stone. This great video idea was suggested by... guess who? I love Dr. Stone, a fact of which I have not tried to keep secret. When it exploded onto the anime scene back in the summer of 2019, I was sucked once again into the post-apocalyptic Bill Nye the Science Guy survivalist show along with everyone else. I say once again, as when I watched the trailer that came out for the anime, I just couldn't contain my excitement that had been building within me ever since I watched Tagging 101's video on it. I had so much hype, I just had to release it. So I ended up staying up all night to read the entire manga up to date, losing sleep in the process, and waking up feeling worse than when I went to sleep. And it was great. I am glad that TMS has made an animated adaptation that is just as good as the manga. Something that is surprisingly hard to do. What have they done to you? A basic summary of the plot of Dr. Stone is that, in the current year, a massive burst of green light washes over the entire planet, turning everyone to stone. Senku, the main character with a Jimmy Neutron level of intelligence, eventually awakens from this petrified state, some 3,700 years in the future. Senku's goal after being thrust into this stone world? Unpetrify all of humanity, and return technology back to its height in the 21st century, step by step. Now, some have pointed out the similarity of this plot, with its constant steps up to more advanced technology, to Minecraft's progression system. Although, personally, I would have to say it's more similar to a Master Civilization player rushing to the science victory. But to each their own. Now, the biggest difference between Dr. Stone and other shows that showcase science is that everything in Dr. Stone is possible to make and the explanations are completely factual. No, it's too complicated for you hand-waving or blatant lies. Dr. Stone goes one step further and actually teaches you about the science used in the series and manages to make it actually interesting. It's basically the new Magic School Bus. This means that Dr. Stone is, in fact, an edutainment show. And if you have watched my second Util episode on terrible writing advice, you will know how much I love edutainment. Now, as much as I know I love educational content, I know that there are a lot of people out there that are more interested in the characters and the story. Don't worry. Dr. Stone has got what you want. The characters that populate the Stone world are all memorable, interesting, and above all, entertaining. The most interesting one being the main character, Senku, who on first glance appears to be the typical genius character with a tragic backstory and thinks himself better than everyone else. But instead, Senku has a very good childhood backstory with the best anime dad to ever exist. And it is because of this loving and great upbringing that he has a strong sense of morality, something many genius characters lack, where even when it appears that he is doing something for selfish and devious reasons with a devilish grin on his face, what he is doing always ends up helping those around him. Even if he says it's just for practicality, you could tell he just wanted to help people. Not to mention that even with his godlike intelligence, he still makes mistakes, and is a better character for it. He's not just a one-dimensional genius character. He is a person. And as the series goes on, you can even see these morals of Senku rub off onto the other characters around him. Characters that actually develop. Although, not everyone perfectly agrees with Senku's worldview and morals. And this is where the main conflict of the story stems from. A clashing of worldviews. All of this makes Senku the most grounded and three-dimensional character in this large cast of characters. Although, the most interesting character of the bunch, he is not my personal favorite character.
For Eel Ray?
And if you have watched the show, I think you know why. In case you haven't noticed, I've been using clips from the English dub of the anime. This is because the English dub is really good.
The strongest weapon in 2 million years of history. Wait, you don't mean nukes, do you? Hell no.
You know, I used to be one of those weebs who only watched subs and denounced any dub watcher. But nowadays, honestly, I don't care what you watch anymore. Do what you want. The only good watching subs did to me is that I can read faster and I get random Japanese words stuck in my head and I don't even know what they mean. Whilst I usually default to subs as it is just what I've always watched, if the dub is really good, I usually watch it over the subs. I mean, you can only deeply understand so much from subtitles in a language you don't know. Now what's crazy about the Dr. Stone dub is that it is actually more faithful to the manga dialogue than the subs.
I'm sorry, y'all. Just having some fun.
Which I have never seen before. The English voice actors are all great, and all their voices perfectly fit the characters, and I gotta say that the Dr. Stone dub is possibly up there with the dubs of Berserk 97
Bazitch, please, don't hate the player, hate the game!
and FMA Brotherhood.
Your face explode!
And it's just that good. Now there are some people that say that Dr. Stone only really gets good in the second arc, some 7 episodes in, as those first 7 episodes are more slower paced and focused on survival. However, I think that the first 7 episodes are a great introduction to the series' characters and setting, and I would strongly not recommend skipping these. Now, to summarize this video of ramblings, if you like science, watch Dr. Stone. If you like the original premise and setting, watch Dr. Stone. And if you want to enjoy a good story with interesting characters, watch Dr. Stone. My name is Olden Gold, and this was Weeb Alert. If you enjoyed this video, then consider subscribing for more. Also, follow me on Twitter